Hello Groovers, as you can see we've got the IRS out ready for checking out what happened to those brakes, doing all the seals, take it all bits, blah blah blah. So now we've got our gloves on, we're ready for action.
It's E Type on a shoestring, yeah. Differential disassembly, man, and other things too.
Pretty hefty bit, I think. See what I'm doing now. The kneel on. Right. So the first thing we're going to do, take all the pads out, put all the little clips and everything in my organiser box. I'm having to pull it out from the inside. It's out. I'll have to find it in a minute. There you go. Imagine trying to do this with this thing on the car. You just wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to change the brake pads really. You wouldn't be able to do anything unless you take this IRS out. But luckily, it's a very enjoyable process and very rewarding, isn't it? Yeah. Now withdraw that. Great stuff. Brake pads out. Yeah, they can be replaced. I mean, they're not down to the metal or nothing, but you can see they need doing. So it doesn't really matter if I mess them up now, does it? There you go. It's out. With the main brake pads out, you can see what state those calipers got into and the muck in there. Funny enough, that is not the side with the missing handbrake pad. This is the side with the missing handbrake pad. And notoriously, because these don't get maintained as well as they should do really, this should come out every year, I suppose, and be properly looked at, but I haven't obviously done that, have I? What with being on a shoestring. Shoestring and not cut corners. Okay. Right, I'm going to take out some shock absorbers. I do like a nice hex socket. And a nice big bar. There you go. And because these shocks are all sprung and stuff, I mean, there's nothing's going to fly off. I can take the whole shock out without worrying about any springs being released or anything. And the washer. Out comes a bolt. We'll start everything off with a nice big breaker bar, really. Get some leverage on it. And the quality is amazing. I love it when everything comes undone. I could put an extension bar on this to make it a little bit easier, but by the time I found an extension bar and put it on there, I probably could have undone it. Lovely. Not the washer. Big washer on the bottom. Well, there's no need to hit anything unless you need to, is there? There's a spacer. Remember that. This should come out. There you go. That's out. Okay, so it's Captain Heath Robinson now. So I've got a socket on there, look. And I've got a bar That runs all the way through there, comes out there, so I can get on those nuts in there. Yeah, get on those nuts in there with that, and then I'm going to put a bar there with the wheel nuts on to protect the threads, so when I turn it, that should stop the whole drive shaft turning, and then I should be able to break those bolts and to take that whole shaft off. Now that is not how you're supposed to do it, I'm sure, but I'll do it how I do it, and I'm sure it'll work. You know, yeah, I'm sure it'll work. Okay, I'm not suggesting you all do it like this, it's just how I'm doing it, okay? That's my kind of caveat, to make sure I'm not telling you how to do a job, it's how I'm doing it. If you don't like it, let me know and I'll ignore you. Cheers. Okay, let's go. Right, so tripod. It's gone. Cool. The first one. One. Bing! Let's go. It's hanging in there still, isn't it? Hooray! Right. Here it comes. Lovely thing, isn't it? Look at that. That is a beauty. Now I've got all these bits that have all got to be cleaned up. And when I go back, they've all got to go back in the right way round, boy. Right, there you go. There's my disc with the shims on it. I had to shim out the XJS differential to make it the same as the Jag, the other E Type one. So I must remember to put all them back with exactly the right thickness. The discs are fine, they're original discs, and they haven't got any wear on them, which is great. And you can see I can get to the caliper now. So if I take the drive shafts and everything out the other side and do the same job again, which you won't need to see, there's a washer there that can come out. I don't want to lose that. Yeah, do the same the other side, and then we can start ripping the brake calipers out. Yes. Actually, it's not too bad a job really, is it? It's just fantastically well engineered. Why don't they make cars like this now where you can mend them yourself? I don't know. Well, people don't mend their cars themselves, do they? They must be bonkers if they do that. Right, here we go. Let's get on with this. There's just lots of bits of car. Lots of bits of amazing car. And I'll just show you what I've taken off, ready for resumption. In the next couple of days, I'll start stripping the brakes all down. But now we've got the two drive shafts and wheel bearing bits and trailing arms off, and yeah, so you know, yeah, all of the shock absorbers are off, and properly get in here now. You can properly get in here and sort out what's going on with the calipers. there you go. Have a proper look in here. You can see I put the nuts back on the drive shaft so I didn't lose any shims. And if we can get some new, see, that's, actually it's dry, isn't it? But anyway, I'll put all new seals in there and just be done with it. So there you go. I'm happy with today's efforts, and yeah, we're doing all right. It's actually not a bad old thing to work on, really, when you think about the technology. I mean, that axle was designed in about probably late 50s, I'd have thought. I think the first cars they went on were the E Types in the early 60s, and they kept the same design up until probably 1990 something. I mean, it's just it's such a great design that Jaguar used it and used it and used it on all the XJs, XJ6s, like I say, right up to probably the 90s. The XJS that had the same diff. If it ain't broke, they couldn't better that. It just is such a brilliant independent system. And it's worth spending the time sorting out properly, because it's just an engineering feat of wonderfulness. And that's why it's such a great car to work on, because you look at it and you go, actually, this is a bit special. And they churned out quite a lot of E-Types, but it doesn't make them less special. You know, it's just wonderful. So I think even Ferrari were using, you know, kart springs and stuff like that when Jaguar were using these. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, how brilliantly forward-thinking they were. And hopefully still are. Anyway, yes, we will resume with the brake situation.
So yeah, I undid the brake calipers and took them off, which was okay to do. And then I edge primed the cradle and glossed it.
Right, so that's all looking rather lovely now it's painted, black and lovely. But I've got a bit of a problem, because I was cleaning up the brake calipers and one of the bleed nipples got stuck in there. So I carefully heated it up, and I carefully got an extractor because it had rung off, and I carefully put the extractor in and started to undo it. And then rather not carefully, we got a bit of a do going on with a broken bit. See that? That's where the bleed nipple goes in. There's another crack just here, look. Crack just there. How far does that crack go down? Not very far. But it'd be much better if I can just source another caliper. But they do lots of different types as well, don't they? Because mine's got cutaways here, and some of them don't have that. I'm trying to find one. So, yeah, so that's my next thing. Because I broke me bit, didn't I? I wish I hadn't broken me bit. Never mind. I'll clean up the drive shafts now instead. And we'll try and source another one of those, because I'm not going to put that in as a bodge, because it's a brake. And if I start losing fluid, once I put all the cage back in again, I'm going to be not a happy bunny. So I'm going to go do it right and do it once. Here we go, look. This is the sort of thing that you end up with when you're working on an E Type Jag. Rear end. Looks like the Jag's exploded all over the workshop. Yeah, and that's after I tidied up as well. You should have seen it before I started tidying up. My whole life is like this. I need help.
So while I was waiting for the new brake caliper to turn up.
So the first bit is this very crusty, rusty bit here, look. Around the wheel arch there, not very nice. It's not too bad up there. And there's a plate in here. We'll probably take that all out and butt weld that in instead of having that plate welded in. Because, you know, just asking for more rust to happen behind that, aren't you, really? And then do you remember in previous episode, there's the light. There's that bit there under the E-Type bottom that needs doing as well. So today I'm going to try and cut those bits out ready for welding in some new bits. But the rest of it was remarkably solid, really, considering. You know, it's all good under there, where the subframe mounts on, it's all good. It just needs a bit of a clean up and some waxy stuff. Yeah, but that's all solid actually, that's good. So, you know, that's all right as well, just needs a bit of tidying up there. And the anti-roll bar, that could be tidied up and painted and stuff, blah blah blah. So lots to keep me going, no problem there. Let's get tidying up. Oh no. Come on. There's no point in messing it out. Get the idea. So there you go, look. Genuine Jaguar rust for sale. If you want me to sell it to you, then you can have a bidding war on that if you want. Genuine Jaguar rust. And that is unfortunately what we've discovered. Cripes. Yeah, what looks a bit crusty initially ends up being a nightmare. Never mind. So, cans of worms. Cans of tin worms. Let's take that right out to there and down to there.
So after grinding out tons of rusty metal, I've exposed a bit of a hole, and I can see that there's quite a bit of welding to do in there, which is something I was not anticipating, but it certainly needs to be done because of safety. So yeah, we'll get round to that. Okay, so amazing, exciting, amazing news. I got back yesterday and it arrived. My new rear brake caliper and springs to go in to retain the pads, and another set of seals, so I got the right ones without a spring, and they just go in without a spring, not like the other ones I bought by accident. Anyway, so it's all in there, and so I can crack on, sort the brakes out, I can put the rear thing back in, all the suspension, and after I've done copious amounts of welding, so I've got loads to do, and now I've got all the stuff to do it with. Yes, I have. You want to weld it, yeah. And then do the rear suspension on a shoestring.